Welcome back to Medinare. Let's discuss this MCQ. Premaxilla is derived from. The options are frontonasal process, medial nasal process, lateral nasal process, and palatine process of maxilla. So the question is, from where premaxilla is derived? Okay. So we need to remember certain prominences and certain structures which are derived from those prominences, and will be good to go to answer many questions that can be arise from this topic. So let's start. Okay, first I'll write what are the prominences that we need to remember. Firstly, we have frontonasal process. Next, we have medial nasal process. First one is frontonasal, next we have medial nasal process. Next, we have lateral nasal process. Then we have maxillary process and mandibular process. Simple, we have frontonasal, medial nasal, lateral nasal, maxillary and mandibular. Let's see the structures which are derived from the respective prominences. Okay. From the frontonasal process, the structures which arise are forehead, bridge of nose, primary palate, medial and lateral nasal process, and premaxilla. Okay, the medial and lateral nasal process is derived from frontonasal process. Now let's see what are the structures derived from medial nasal process. Philtrum of lip, crest and tip of nose. From lateral nasal process, we get aloe of nose. From maxillary process, upper cheeks, lateral portion of upper lip, and secondary palate. From mandibular process, we have lower lip, lower jaw, chin, and lower cheek. So let's revise this again. Each one of these are potential MCQ questions. They can ask like philtrum of lip is derived from, or tip of the nose is derived from, or your secondary palate and primary palate is derived from. So now let's revise this. We have totally 5 processes which are frontonasal, medial nasal, lateral nasal, maxillary and mandibular. From frontonasal, we have forehead, bridge of nose, primary palate, premaxilla, medial and lateral nasal processes. From medial nasal processes, we have philtrum of lip, crest and tip of nose. From lateral nasal process, we have lateral part of the nose which is aloe of the nose. From maxillary process, we have upper cheeks, upper lips, lateral, which is the lateral portion of the upper lips, and secondary palate. From the mandibular process, we have lower lip, lower jaw, chin, and lower cheek. With this, now let's get back to the question. So now we know from the list that we studied now, premaxilla is derived from frontonasal process. So the correct answer is option A, frontonasal process.